Thank you so much for watching today and for walking in God's light. I just know you're going to have a great day.
And remember, God wants you to look good, feel good, and be good. May His holy light shine upon you.
You know, I'm always good.
Yes, you are.
My friends, if you stand in line at the grocery store these days, you might think that Americans have decided that marriage is just one big joke. You got magazines showing unmarried celebrities collecting third world orphans like they're refrigerator magnets. You got 90-year-old billionaires marrying 22-year-old underwear models. You got men marrying men and women marrying women. But step away from the so-called mainstream media and you'll see a different story out here in the real America. Is your parents' marriage a joke to you? Is your daughter's? Let me tell you something. There is nothing funny about my marriage to Sarah. It is the bedrock of my life and a blessing. And now there is a storm gathering that could be the fatal blow to the traditional family, perhaps even the human race. And that's the sanctioned marriage of humans and vampires. So what does God think of the idea of intermarriage between the living and the dead? Well, let's take a look at the sacred vow itself. After all, that promise is what marriage is all about. I certainly remember my wedding day when I stood before a man of God, and in words that have been repeated since time immemorial, I promised to stick with Sarah for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, until death do us part. Until death do us part. An interesting choice of words. Not forever, until death. Clearly, it was never God's will that humans marry after death. For what would such a marriage be? Decades of childless living? Never sharing a breakfast table or a sunrise? A parasitic relationship where one member feeds on the other, as his or her human spouse wends through the normal stages of life while remaining as untouched by age as a stuffed owl in a museum. I don't know what to call that, but I know it's not marriage. It's an abomination. I'm Steve Newland, and that's today's Reflection of Light. Thank you so much for watching today and for walking in God's light. I just know you're going to have a great day.
And remember, God wants you to look good, feel good, and be good. May His holy light shine upon you.
You know, I'm always good.
Yes, you are.
My friends, a lot of us are afraid to die. We're afraid that we'll be judged, afraid that we will suffer, and maybe worst of all, afraid we'll just disappear forever as if we never existed. We now know that thousands of people, perhaps more, have avoided this most human of fears by leaving their humanity behind and becoming creatures of darkness, vampires. Maybe some of you watching this now, plagued by an irrational fear of death, have even considered the possibility of being turned. But let me ask you a question. Do you know why God expelled Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden? It wasn't, as many people believe, as a penalty for eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge. If you read Genesis, you'll see that there was another tree in the garden, the tree of life. Adam and Eve were cast out before they could partake of the tree that would have given them the power of everlasting life. In fact, God was so determined to keep covetous humans away from the tree of life, He posted cherubims, winged celestial beings with spinning flaming swords to protect it. In this, God is clear. Those who seek to cheat death with a false salvation, those who would walk the earth in darkness for eternity, preying on others, drinking their blood, would surely be expelled from God's garden. Heck, they wouldn't even be allowed there in the first place. But I'm here to tell you that there is great news. You too are armed with a flaming sword of light. Use it. Defend that which you love and hold sacred. And remember, tolerance in the face of true evil is no virtue, and extremism in confronting eternal darkness is no vice. The path to true everlasting life is yours for the taking. Take it and walk in His holy light. I'm Steve Newland, and that's today's Reflection of Light. Thank you so much for watching today and for walking in God's light. I just know you're going to have a great day.
And remember, God wants you to look good, feel good, and be good. May His holy light shine upon you.
You know, I'm always good.
Yes, you are. One of the blessings that comes with our large ministry is getting to teach Sunday school every week. And I love to share some of the adorable things the kids say in our sessions. One of my favorites was when a boy wrote, "Christian people have only one spouse. That is called monotony." Out of the mouths of babes. But the truth is, people often come to our ministry in great pain, looking for relationship help. After years of faithful marriage, some have even found themselves tempted by something new, something different, something exciting. And though they may be flirting with an evil more dangerous than anything they could have ever seen or could imagine, they find themselves considering the unthinkable: adultery with a vampire. Clearly, a fling with a dead man or woman is no cure at all for the old married blues. And to those of you who may be wondering if it's possible to love one person for your entire life, you should know every one of us has a 24-hour-a-day marriage counselor, and he's got a lot more answers than Dr. Phil. God is there to help us help ourselves to be better husbands and wives, and He wants our holy human marriages to be happy. I love Corinthians, where it says the husband has the authority over his wife's body and the wife has authority over her husband's. When you give up control of yourself, physically and emotionally, and take on responsibility for the physical and emotional happiness of your spouse, you deny the forces of darkness and become closer to God. I honestly feel that I was put on this earth for one reason: to serve someone I believe is a great man, a real man, a human man. My beloved husband, Stephen Newland. So when I find myself feeling tired or willful or cranky, or when I put on a few pounds over the holidays, I ask myself, hey, who has authority over that body? And the next thing I know, I'm on the treadmill feeling the usual rush of endorphins and the rush of God's love. And as His light streams through the window, I am reminded that all the love and effort we put into our human marriages will be multiplied 10 times over. I'm Sarah Newland, and that's today's Reflection of Light.
Thank you so much for watching today and for walking in God's light. I just know you're going to have a great day.
And remember, God wants you to look good, feel good, and be good. May His holy light shine upon you.
You know, I'm always good.
Yes, you are. Since our book, Living Alive, became a bestseller, people have come from all over the country to talk to Steve and I about our pro-living values. They talk about how hard it is to raise a family in this day and age when dark temptation is everywhere, when every time we turn around, it seems like someone is telling us that the vampire lifestyle is trendy and cool, that we mere mortals are somehow yesterday's news. At the movies, young girls are going crazy over handsome teen vampires. Rock stars sing songs about getting high on vampire blood. Can you imagine? Big companies are making millions of dollars selling cars and clothes and jewelry to wealthy vampires. Well, I am here to tell you that there is nothing trendy or cool about evil. It's as old as the serpent that tempted Eve, as old as Delilah tempting Samson, as old as Esau, who was tempted to sell his own birthright for just a little itty-bitty morsel of food. But there is good news. God doesn't want you to be frumpy or uncool. He wants you to look good and feel good and to be prosperous. How, you ask? By taking the righteous path and resisting temptation of the body and spirit, by resisting the seduction of eternal darkness. He wants you to know that the greed and perversion of the vampire lifestyle can never bring you real joy, everlasting youth, or prosperity. The true joy, beauty, and wealth that is all around you. Just wake up in the morning and look in the sky and you can see it. Bathe in His holy light. Let it surround you like a warm embrace and protect you like a shield. Love your life. Live your love. Be prosperous. And remember, it really is hip to be alive. I'm Sarah Newland, and that's today's Reflection of Light.